Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023. Our lineup for the show today is going to be a little different. WNBA playoffs, MLB, soccer, college football, Thursday night football, MLB power rankings. We haven't done those in a while. News and notes, and best bet. WNBA playoffs is where we'll start today. The first round is officially over as the Sun defeat the Lynx 90-75 in game number 3 to advance to the next round to play the Liberty in the semifinals. Alyssa Thomas had 28 points and 12 assists. Nafisa Collier had 31 in defeat. So much for me thinking that that Minnesota had a shot here. But Connecticut's really good in their own right, and they get to play the Liberty in the next round, and then it's going to be the Aces against the Wings in the other side of the bracket. So it should be a lot of fun. Semifinals begin Sunday, and we will pick each series on the podcast tomorrow. All right, MLB. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. Phil's over the Braves 6-5-10. Twins over the Reds 5-3. Nats over the White Sox 13-3. Rangers over the Red Sox 15-5. Astros over the O's 2-1. Royals over the Guardians 6-2. Mariners over the A's 6-3. D-backs over the Giants 7-1. Padres over the Rockies 3-2. Angels over the Rays 8-3. Mets over the Marlins 8-3. Blue Jays over the Yankees 6-1. Pirates over the Cubs 13-7. Brewers over the Cardinals 8-2. And the Tigers over the Dodgers 4-2. All right, not a lot of games on the docket. Tonight, it looks like there's only 9. So at 1 o'clock this afternoon, Angels-Rays monster game. Griffin Canning, Zach Eflin. Rays look to bounce back. And the Angels look to win a series here. Rays minus 255, Angels plus 210, over under 7.5, minus NHA. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 1.5, Rays minus 1.5 is minus 114. I like the over a lot in that game. 115, you have the Brewers at the Cardinals, Wade Miley and Miles Nicholas. Pick a minus 180, Troy over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 146, Cards plus 1.5 is minus 178. I don't know why to pick them, give you the Brewers. They're closer to a division crown. 7 o'clock, Blue Jays, Yankees. Jose Barrios, Garrett Cole, really good pitching matchup. Toronto's going for the sweep. Yanks are favored, though, minus 142. Blue Jays plus 120, over under 7.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 178. Yanks minus 1.5 is plus 148. Just because Garrett Cole's on the mound, I do not think the Blue Jays will get swept. Or will sweep the Yankees, I should say. I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I'm going to go under 3.5 Yankee runs at plus 106. I could see Yankees winning like 3-1 or 3-2 or something like that. Braves, Nats. Max Fried and Jake Irvin. Braves minus 270, Nats plus 220, over under 9, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 156, Nats plus 1.5 is plus 130. So the Dodgers are right behind them for National League's best record. I like the over for this game. On Fox tonight, Orioles, Guardians. Grayson Rodriguez and TBD. I don't see a lineup for this. But I would assume the O's would be favored. If the total is anything less, or I'm saying higher than 8.5, I'll definitely grab the under. And then if it's less than 7.5, I would take the over. The other option would be Orioles run line. Mets Phillies on Fox. David Peterson and Ranger Suarez. Doesn't this game have Kenny Albert written all over it? For like a broadcasting standpoint. Phillies are minus 174. Mets are plus 146 over under 8.5. Over is minus 118. Under is minus 104. Mets plus 1.5 is minus 40. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 116. Phillies obviously need the game. I like the over. Pirates Cubs at 7:30. Johan Oviedo and Kyle Hendricks. Cubs minus 166. Pirates plus 140 over under 8.5. Over is minus 102. Under is minus 120. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 143. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 118. Interesting pick here by going with the Cubs on the run line. 9:30 Tigers A's. Tariq Skubal, Luis Medina. Tigers minus 184. A's plus 154 over under 7.5. Minus 10 each way. Tigers minus 1.5 and A's plus 1.5 is minus 10 each way. Tigers are getting a lot of respect in the market. It's still the Tigers. They still stink. I'm going with the under. And 10 o'clock, you have the Giants at the Dodgers. Huge games. Kyle Harrison and Emmett Sheehan. Dodgers minus 180. Giants plus 152 over under 9. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Giants plus 1.5 is minus 137. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 114. I like the over, but I do not feel very strong about it. All right, soccer. We have a ton of soccer games to talk about in terms of results. We will start with MLS. CF Montreal, Cincinnati 1-1 draw. Charlotte, Philly 2-2 draw. Columbus over Chicago 3-0. DC Atlanta 1-1 draw. Miami over Toronto 4-0. NYCFC over Orlando 2-0. Red Bulls Austin 1-1 draw. Houston over Vancouver 4-1. Nashville over KC 3-0. St. Louis LAFC 0-0 draw. Seattle over Colorado 2-1. Dallas over Sully 3-1. Galaxy over Minnesota 4-3. And Portland over San Jose 2-1. ELC from yesterday, Sunderland over Blackburn 3-1, Huddersfield Stoke 2-2 draw, Hull Leeds 0-0 draw, Millwall over Rotherham 3-0, Watford West Brom 2-2 draw, and Leicester over Norwich City 2-0. Champions League results from yesterday. Real Madrid over Union Berlin 1-0. Galatasaray in Copenhagen 2-2 draw, Napoli over Braga 2-1. Lens Sevilla 1-1 draw. Real Sociedad Inter Milan 1-1 draw. Arsenal over PSV 4-0. FC Salzburg over Benfica 2-0. Bayern over Man United 4-3. USL from yesterday, Miami over Louisville 4-3. Birmingham, Memphis 1-1 draw. San Diego over Monterrey Bay 3-2. Sacramento, New Mexico 0-0 draw. And Phoenix Indy 1-1 draw. Liga MX, America over Curacao 2-1. And I do not see any games today for notable soccer, but I am gonna double check to make sure there's anything I'm not missing. So we have a friendly tonight, 7:30 on TNT, U.S. South Africa from Cincinnati on TNT. Europa League today, 12:45, Leverkusen and BK Häcken. Karabag Molde, Linz and Liverpool. Panathinaikos and Villarreal. Servette and Slavia Prague. Sheriff Tiraspol and AS Roma. Stade Rennais and Maccabi Haifa. Union St. Galois and Toulouse. 3 o'clock, Ajax Amsterdam and Marseille. Atalanta and Rakow Chistawa. Brighton and Hove and AEK Athens. Olympiacos and FC Freiburg. Rangers and Real Betis. SK Strumgaz and Sporting CP. Sparta Prague and Aris Limassol. And West Ham United and TSE Baka Topola. And in Conference League, 12:45, Frankfurt and Aberdeen, Fenerbahce and FC Nordstrand, Ferencváros and Kukuriki, HJK Helsinki and PAOK Solnika, Lega Warsaw and Aston Villa, Ludogorets Razgrad and FC Spartak Trnava, Racing Genk and Fiorentina, Zerjinski Mostar and AZ Alkmaar, and at 3 o'clock Club Brugge and Besiktas, Dynamo Zagreb and FC Astana, FC Lugano and Bodo Glimt, FC Zorya Luhansk and KAA Ghent, Maccabi Tel Aviv and Breidablik, Slovan Bratislava and KL Klosvik, Victoria Plzen and Balkani. So that's it for global soccer. College football tonight. One game, it's a Sun Belt game. It's on at 7 o'clock on ESPN, or 7:30, Georgia State, Coastal Carolina. My projection for this game is Coastal Carolina by 2.5, total 59 2/5. The line is 6.5 and 62.5. So I have a 4-point edge on Georgia State, and I have a 3-point edge on the under. The pick's going to be Georgia State getting the points. I do not expect Georgia State to win this game. I think Coastal Carolina should win, but I think Georgia State will cover the spread. So I'm going to take Georgia State getting the 6.5 points against Coastal Carolina. All right, and now Thursday night football tonight. 8 o'clock on Amazon Prime. You got the Niners hosting the Giants. It's actually 8:15 to be exact on Prime Video. My projection is Niners 11.5, total 45 and 9/20. No Saquon Barkley or Andrew Thomas for the Giants. Brandon Ayuk questionable for the 49ers. And we got 10.5 and 43.5. All right, this is something I will probably stay away from any of the numbers, but if I do anything tonight, it's probably going to be a same game parlay. But the pick I'm going to give out for the show is the slight over, because the Giants' defense has been bad through the first 2 games of the season, with the exception of the last 2 quarters of the Arizona game when they pulled off the big comeback. But Arizona was tanking in that second half. We all know it. I could see the Niners winning this game by 11 points, even without the 2 giant guys in Barkley and Thomas. But I'm going to say that the Niners win by 11, but the Giants score at the end and threaten for the cover, and they don't cover. So if you ask me what's going to be tonight's final score of this game, I'm going to say 30 to... The 30 to 20 would be asking for a lot, but it would mean the over would hit. 27-16. That would mean the under. So it can't be that. I could see it being 28-17. That's a little bit of a cleaner score. 27-17 maybe. 27-19. 26-18 maybe. Something in that realm. But I do like the over as like a slight pick. But I don't feel good about it. The Niners are probably going to win. If the Niners lose this game, then they cannot be considered the best team in the league. I'm sorry. If you lose to the Giants without Saquon Barkley and Andrew Thomas, you can't be considered the best team in the league. I'm sorry. You just can't. So the Niners, pressure's kind of on them tonight. So give me the over. But it's a slight over for the game pick. All right, Major League Baseball power rankings. I haven't done this in 2 months, so I'm just going to go over my power rankings and then talk about how each team finishes their schedule-wise, because I don't think we're going to be doing MLB power rankings again for the rest of the regular season. Number 30 is the Oakland Athletics. They're truly awful. 46 and 106 on the year. They're eliminated. Losers of 7 straight. They closed the season home Tigers for 4, at the Twins for 3, and at the Angels for 3. 29 is the Colorado Rockies. They're eliminated. They're 56 and 96 on the season. Losers of 4 straight. They closed the season at the Cubs for 3. Home Dodgers for 4, including a doubleheader on Tuesday. And then they closed the season hosting the Twins. Number 28 is the Chicago White Sox. 58 and 95 on the season. 3 and 7 on their last 10. A lot of turmoil with this team. They're off today. They closed the year this weekend at Fenway for 3. Home Diamondbacks for 3. And home Padres for 3. Number 27 is the Kansas City Royals. They're playing a little bit better to be out of the bottom 3. They're in last, though, 51 and 102 on the year, but they're 7 and 3 in their last 10 winners at 3 straight. They closed the season at the Astros for 3. At the Tigers for 3, and home Yankees for 3. Next, number 26 is the Washington Nationals. They're 68 and 95 on the year. They're eliminated. They've won back-to-back games against the White Sox. They close the season home Braves for 4, at the O's for 2, and then at the Braves for 3. So a lot of Braves and O's, and we'll see if they can play a little spoiler. All right, out of the bottom 5, 25 is the St. Louis Cardinals. They are 67 and 85 on the year, eliminated from playoff contention. They lost their last 2. So they close this Brewers series today, so they go for a split. And then they're at the Padres for 3, at the Brewers for 3, and then home for the Reds for 3. 24 is the Los Angeles Angels. They're 68 and 83 on the year, eliminated from playoff contention. Shohei Ohtani out for the year. I should have had them lower. They close this Rays series today. It's a three-game set. Then they're at the Twins for 3. Home Rangers for 3, and then home A's for 3. So let's see. what spoiler they can play against the Rangers coming up, and even the Rays today. Number 23 is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 71-81 on the year, 500 in their last 10. They are not eliminated from playoff contention yet. All right, they are at the Reds for 3. They click on the wrong team. Yeah, so they closed the Cubs series today. Then they're at the Reds for 3, at the Phillies for 3, and then they close home Marlins. So they have good opportunity to play some spoiler for the Reds and for Miami here. The Phillies are pretty much locked in already, although it's not official. 22 is the Detroit Tigers, 71-81 on the season, 64 in their last 10. They're actually not playing terribly right now. So 4 at Oakland. Then they host the Royals for 3 and host the Guardians for 3. And number 21 is the Cleveland Guardians. They are 72-81 on the year, not eliminated yet. They've lost their last 3 games. So coming up for them, they host the Orioles for 4, so a good spoiler opportunity for the Guardians. And then they're home Reds for 2, and then at Tigers for 3. So some good spoiler opportunity for the Guardians coming up against their in-state rival and in the O's. Number 20 is the New York Mets. 71-81 on the year, not eliminated yet. 6-4 in their last 10. So coming up for them, so they win the Marlins series. At the Phillies for 4, including a Fox game tonight, and then Apple TV Plus tomorrow. And then home Marlins for 3, and then home Phillies for 3. So some spoiler opportunity for the Mets as well. Number 19 is the Boston Red Sox. They're 75-78 on the season, trying to stay out of last in the AL East. 2-8 in their last 10. So they're now in last, obviously. They just lost 2 out of 3. The Rangers coming up. Home White Sox for 3. Home Rays for 2. And then at Baltimore for 4, including a game on Fox on the 30th. Number 18 is the San Francisco Giants. 76-76 on the season. They're at the Dodgers for 4, home Padres for 3, and then home Dodgers for 3. So they close out the season with all division games. Number 17 is the New York Yankees. They're 76-76 on the season. They've lost their last 3 games to the Blue Jays and the Pirates, respectively. To close the season, they host the Diamondbacks for 3, at the Blue Jays for 3, and then at Royals for 3. So some spoiler opportunity for the Yankees against the Diamondbacks and then the Blue Jays. Number 16 is the San Diego Padres. They are 75-78 on the season, 8-2 in their last 10 winners of 7 straight. Coming up for them to close the season, home Cardinals for 3. At Giants for 3. And then at the White Sox for 3. Number 15 is the Cincinnati Reds. They are 79-75 on the season. 6-4 in their last 10. 20% chance to make the postseason. All right, to close the season, home Pirates for 3, at the Guardians for 2, and at the Cardinals for 3. So it's their last home series of the season coming up. 14 is the Miami Marlins. They are 79-74 on the season. 500 in their last 10 with a negative run differential. To close the year, home Brewers for 3, at Mets for 3, at Pirates for 3. So a little bit of an easier schedule after the Brewers. although they did lose that series to the Mets just now. 13's the Chicago Cubs, 79-73 on the season. 3-7 in their last 10, so they've kind of fallen off a little bit. Coming up for them to close the season, so they finished the Pirate series. And then home Rockies for 3, at Braves for 3, and then at Brewers for 3. So the pressure's on the Cubs. Number 12 is the Minnesota Twins, 81-72 on the season. Very, very close to clinching the division. So coming up for them, they host the Angels for 3, host the A's for 3, and then at the Rockies for 3. So very easy schedule for Minnesota to close the season. Number 11 is the Arizona Diamondbacks, 81-72 on the season. Winners of 5 straight, very likely to make the postseason. Coming up for them at the Yankees for 3, then at the White Sox for 3, and then home Astros for 3. Number 10 is the Philadelphia Phillies, 83-69 on the season, 500 in their last 10. They're likely going to hang on for their playoff spot. So they host the Mets for 4, host the Pirates for 3, and they close at the Mets for 3. So a little bit of an easier schedule for Philadelphia coming up. Number 9 is the Seattle Mariners, 84-68 on the year, a half game back of the Astros for first place in the division. 500 in the last 10, although winners of 3 in a row. So they're at the Rangers this weekend for 3. Host the Astros for 3. Then host the Rangers for 4, including a Saturday game on Fox. So the Mariners are the ones that pretty much control this division the rest of the way because they closed the season with those 2 teams. So that is something to keep an eye out for. One of those 3 teams isn't going to make the playoffs. Toronto's going to make it. Number 8 is the Texas Rangers. They're also 84-68 on the season. 6-4 in the last 10. They've won back-to-back games. Coming up for them to close the season. Host the Mariners for 3. At the Angels for 3. And then at the Mariners for 4. That Angels series is a lucky break for the Rangers. No Ohtani. And then the Astros the Astros, I think, play somebody weak too, but the Mariners also play Houston. So the Mariners get the toughest draw of the 3 teams. The Astros I have at 7. They're a half game up on the other 2 teams in that division, 85-68 on the year. They're all tied in the loss column. They're 4-6 in their last 10, though. They've been playing the worst of the teams lately. So they host the Royals for 3, so that's their easy series. Then they're at the Mariners for 3, and then they're at the Diamondbacks for 3. So the Diamondbacks series is hard for them. Number 6, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. 86-66 on the season. 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're rocking and rolling Milwaukee. Closed the season. They finished that Cardinals series today. And then they're at the Marlins for 3. Home Cardinals for 3. And then home Cubs for 3. So the Brewers should be 500 in that stretch and should still hang on to that division. Number 5 is the Toronto Blue Jays. 85-67 on the year. They're playing great baseball. Winners of 5 straight. They're going to make the postseason, I would say. So they finished that Yankee series tonight, and then they are at the Rays for 3. Home Yankees for 3. Home Rays for 3. So they close the season. Very difficult schedule to close the season. They face Garrett Cole tonight. They'll probably see Garrett Cole next week, too, which isn't great for them. And then they play the Rays, who are going for the AL East. The Rays I have at number 4. 93-60 on the year. They're 3 back in the loss column of the Orioles. They're playing better than the Orioles right now. But they didn't win that series in Baltimore. So they finished that Angel series today. And then they have Blue Jays home for 3, at Fenway for 2 against the Red Sox, and then they're at Toronto for 3. So they have a hard schedule to close out the year as well. And then against even the Red Sox team that wants to finish with a winning record. So that's not going to be easy. Number 3 is the Baltimore Orioles, 95-57 on the season. They're 500 in their last 10. So they have at the Guardians for 4, including a Fox game tonight. Home Nats for 2. And then home Boston for 4, including a Saturday night game on Fox. So the Orioles' schedule, sneaky hard in spots, but could be very easy. Because they could easily, if they split the Guardians series, sweep the Nats, and then 3 out of 4 against the Red Sox, that should get them the division. But they have an easier schedule than the Rays, who have to face Toronto twice. And the Red Sox. I knew it was either them or the Yankees that they had to face. So it was the Red Sox. So easier schedule than Tampa for sure. Number 2 is the Los Angeles Dodgers. 93-58 on the season, 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're playing as good as anybody. So they host the Giants for 4, at the Rockies for 4, including a Tuesday doubleheader. And then they close at the Giants for 3. They sometimes struggle at Coors Field. So that series is not that easy. Meanwhile, the Braves have the Nats on their schedule twice. So the Braves should, in theory, end up with the best record over the Dodgers. And then the Braves are number 1, of course. They're the best team in the league. They are 97-55 on the season. Although 4-6 in their last 10, who cares at this point? They lost that Philly series, but Philly needed them more. The Braves have everything locked up. They have the division locked up. So they're at the Nats for 4, home Cubs for 3, home Nats for 3. So easy schedule down the stretch. The Cubs one's not easy, but the Nats one is easy. And they're going to end up clinching best record. So the Dodgers and the Braves clinched their divisions, and that's it. And playoff berths clinched. Just the 2 teams from the AL East in Tampa and Baltimore. All right, now we'll go over the news and notes for today. As far as I'm concerned, not a lot of stuff to talk about. We talked about it earlier. Saquon Barkley out against the 49ers. The Giants are doing the right thing. Although they are optimistic. For Barkley's ankle long term, I would not be surprised if he's back against the Seahawks on Monday Night Football next week on October the 2nd. So just keep an eye out for that. Although Wan'Dale Robinson will be playing tonight against the Niners after tearing his ACL last season. And Andrew Thomas is out as well, which is a big loss for the Giants. The Vikings acquire Cam Akers from the Los Angeles Rams for a swap of 2026 draft picks. Nice pickup for Minnesota. So it's a nice combo they have there now with Alexander Madison. And the Browns have signed Kareem Hunt after Nick Chubb's injury. Not a bad signing. He knows that offense, so that's not surprising. The Chicago Bears release Nate Peterman and new backup quarterback, Tyson Bagent, for the Bears. Yikes. I think that was a mistake. Speaking of the Bears, Justin Fields says he feels robotic as he is blunt on what might be causing him to overthink. Jesus. Devontae Adams rips Taylor Rapp, and he calls the hit that put him in the concussion protocol unnecessary. Well, I don't blame Devontae for being frustrated. So college football, Warren Sapp wants to join Deion Sanders' staff next year. I guess he said that on Rich Eisen's show the other day. College hoops, Jaleel Bethia lands with the Miami Hurricanes, 5-star shooting guard. Highest ranked prospect for the Canes in the modern recruiting era. So that is a big get for Miami. The Pacers are working on Buddy Hield trades as they're calling around after extension talks with Buddy Hield stalled. There's a lot of teams that could use Buddy Hield. I do not think he'll end up on the Lakers like we all thought maybe a year ago. There's a couple other I could think about. Could that be like a Philadelphia James Harden type of package, or could he be, in theory, going to somewhere in a Damian Lillard trade with Miami and Buddy goes to Portland kind of thing? But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Buddy Hield ended up in a James Harden or a Damian Lillard trade with another team. Corbin Carroll makes rookie history, first player to post 25 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a season as a rookie, so that's pretty cool. And Carlos Correa placed on the injured list. And they're thinking that he'll be ready for the postseason. He better be ready for the postseason if the Twins think they have any chance of doing anything. And it's some media news reported by Andrew Marchand. WWE SmackDown is leaving Fox next year to head back to USA. So that's a pretty big deal for media. Fox had a good run with SmackDown, and now it goes back to an NBC affiliate in USA. Okay, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple baseball bets that I liked for tonight. So best bet yesterday was a loser. I took the Marlins against the Mets. So best bet is 0 for this week. We need a win this time. So I'm going to go with the quarter unit. I want to take the Brewers against the Cardinals. There's a couple other ones that are under consideration. Under 7 in Yanks Blue Jays is really good. But the Yanks bullpen has been icky lately, so no thanks. The over in the Rays game is interesting, but I don't trust the Angels' offense without Ohtani. So I'm going to do, for the second show in a row, bet a team to win straight up. I know it didn't work yesterday. I'm going to do it again. I'm taking Milwaukee minus 108 at the Cardinals. They need the game. They're going for a division crown. So give me Milwaukee minus 108 at St. Louis against the Cardinals. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow with a monster show. Maybe we'll do the NHL schedule show tonight too, because we did not get a chance to do it last night. So tomorrow's show is going to be college football, Major League Baseball, NFL, WNBA playoff semifinal picks, soccer, NASCAR, news and notes, best bet, Fab 5. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, everybody.